On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 took off like any other. It was 0041 hours, and the Boeing 777-200ER departed from Kuala Lumpur, heading towards Beijing. On board, 239 people. Men, women, children, entire families. Everyone was sleeping, reading, or watching movies as the plane crossed the dark sky of the night. But 40 minutes later, something happened. Malaysian military radar detected that the plane had changed course. Without warning. No contact with air traffic control. It veered westward, flew over the Malay Peninsula, and then vanished. From that point on, one of the most costly, mysterious, and debated searches in aviation history began. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 left no trace. No calls, no emergency signals, only silence. At the center of this tragedy, questions arose about the man at the helm, a pilot with over 18,000 flying hours. For many, an impeccable professional, but others saw him as a potential author of the mystery. In his home, a flight simulator was discovered. Zahari had practiced routes similar to the one MH370 took before disappearing. Was this training, a coincidence, or a meticulous preparation? Some experts believe the plane might have been hijacked from the cockpit itself. That, for personal or ideological reasons, deliberately turned off communication systems, changed course, and flew the plane to a remote point in the Indian Ocean. To disappear with it. But without conclusive evidence, everything remains a shadow, an invisible gesture, a decision in the dark. While the focus was on the crew, some investigators began looking at the passengers. Who was on board? Who had the means or motivation to make an entire plane disappear? One of the most mysterious names did not match any known profile. He was traveling alone with no checked baggage, and an identity traceable only up to a certain point. His digital history was clean. Witnesses remembered his unusually quiet behavior. He never interacted with anyone. He just observed. Could he have carried a device that altered the plane's systems? A cyber attack from within? Some theorists believe that the suspicious passenger was not acting alone, that he was part of a carefully orchestrated operation to hijack the plane without leaving a trace. But if that's the case, where are the remains? Where is MH370? As more conventional theories failed to provide satisfactory answers, a more disturbing and simultaneously intriguing theory began to emerge. The plane didn't crash. The plane was absorbed. This theory, though extremely difficult to believe, has captured the attention of some scientists who suggest that MH370 passed through a gravitational anomaly, a sort of black hole or vortex in space-time. The idea that a plane could be absorbed by a black hole may seem like something out of science fiction, but modern science is far from dismissing such phenomena as impossible. In the Indian Ocean, where MH370 disappeared, satellite data showed strange readings. Inexplicable variations in the Earth's magnetic field density and fluctuations in gravitational waves. These disturbances could indicate the presence of a gravitational phenomenon that distorted space-time, like a small-scale black hole or a temporal vortex. Black holes are regions of space where gravity is so intense that nothing, not even light, can escape. They are the most extreme manifestation of Einstein's general theory of relativity. A black hole can form when a massive star collapses in on itself, creating a singularity, a point of infinite density. The gravitational force near this singularity is so strong that any object or light that gets too close is trapped and disappears, leaving no trace. Now, the concept of a black hole in the Indian Ocean, although incredible, is not entirely ruled out. Some scientists suggest that a small distortion in space-time, caused by an unknown phenomenon, could have been what caused the plane's disappearance. The Indian Ocean is a relatively unexplored region, leaving open the possibility that it could be the site of a natural anomaly or an unknown phenomenon. This kind of phenomenon is not unique. In 1945, a group of U.S. Navy planes known as Flight 19 disappeared without a trace over the Bermuda Triangle, an area famous for strange disappearances. The theory that has circulated since then is that the planes were absorbed by a magnetic anomaly or a space-time vortex similar to a black hole, resulting in the inexplicable disappearance of the entire crew. Although this explanation remains speculative, the idea that such phenomena could be more common than we think is an area of research still being studied by some scientists. In the case of MH370, evidence of an unusual phenomenon in the region is limited, but the strange readings from the satellites and fluctuations in magnetic fields cannot be ignored. This leads us to consider that, although it may seem like an overly complex explanation for the disappearance of a commercial plane, the possibility of a black hole or temporal vortex is not entirely out of the question. Moreover, in modern physics, the theories of black holes and space-time vortices are not as alien to reality as we might think. Quantum physicists and astronomers have started to accept that space-time is much more fluid and flexible than previously believed. The fact that black holes can distort gravity and time to the point of bending space-time has been demonstrated in experiments and astronomical observations. It is possible that similar phenomena on a smaller scale could occur on Earth without us fully understanding them. Of course, this theory is the hardest to accept by the general public. The idea that an entire plane could disappear due to a black hole seems so out of place that many immediately reject it. However, in the scientific realm, the possibility that unknown phenomena might influence extraordinary events like the disappearance of MH370 is taken seriously by some experts. Today, more than a decade later, families are still waiting. The ocean still holds its secrets, and the sky is no longer the same. The remains found on remote islands in the Indian Ocean have been scarce, incomplete, and in many cases questioned. No bodies were recovered. No black boxes were found. The mystery of MH370 continues to fuel theories, documentaries, independent investigations, and conspiracies. Some claim the government is hiding information. Others say the plane was accidentally shot down, and a few believe it entered an unknown dimension. But the truth still floats in the darkness, among the clouds, beyond the radar, because that night, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 said goodbye to the world, and the world still hasn't been able to answer it.